Live Laugh Face App. Hi, guys. Hello.
You guys, it is day 4 of Tales of the Cocktail.
Is it 4 or 5? Monday? No, it's 4. It's 4, sorry.
Wait.
It's, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Let's say Thursday.
Is it Thursday? It's Thursday. Okay.
We're not in charge.
We're
we
not.
need an assistant.
I know.
We can't be managed.
I know. And our editor, he's in Pakistan, which we love very much, but I do wish he was here sometimes.
No, I know. Oh my gosh, we get at Facade with us. You guys, welcome to day 4 of Tales of the Cocktail. We are at the Ritz-Carlton, and we just did our first and last podcast of the week. Honestly, the only one that matters.
Exactly.
We have been wanting to have Lalo of Lalo Tequila. He is Don Julio's grandson, and they are our favorite tequila, our favorite company. And we just had him on the podcast, which you guys will hear right after this. We just sat down and started going because he had to get to the airport. So I feel like we didn't properly introduce him.
No, we didn't, and which is fine. Well, and then our traffic getting from our Airbnb, it took us like way too long. So I'm over here freaking out.
You guys, we were at the Lalo party till 2. Then we went with like some, friends. We were in an apartment until like 3 o'clock in the morning. The amount of like Lalo that I drank last night, because it's an additive free tequila, I wasn't like hungover. I'm actually like, okay, I needed a little hair of the dog on the podcast. But you don't feel like crap. No.
It is crazy. And he always says that too. He's like, you can drink it all day.
I could drink this bottle. I probably drank more than this last night. And I woke up, obviously I was tired because we were out all night. But you guys, we took our parents to Tales of the Cocktail. We have been to 20 parties a day.
It's been insane. We have been go from last Thursday to now.
I was just telling Lalo that I was making out with someone in the corner of his party last night.
Me and some straight guy were kissing on each other.
Very saucy.
But
we have more parties today. I woke up and the man that I was making out with, he texted me and was like, hey, I got you on the list for like this really cool party tonight. And I was like, thank you so much. But I like sent like this, like the no like emoji because I was like, I'm not going to make it.
I'm going to check myself into like a psych ward after this week, Someone texted me and they were like, oh, wow, you guys really are nonstop. And I'm like, I'm not like trying to do that.
No, it's like, this is work.
This is just like, but anyway, we are so excited for you guys to listen to the episode of Lalo. He's amazing and just like an all around good person.
When we got some people into the party last night because they were like, oh, I'm so obsessed with Lalo. I couldn't get an invite to that party. And I was like, we can go. And they're like, but we're not on the list. Like, and I was like, no, I basically work for the company.
Yeah, I work for the company.
And I was like, you guys can come. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
But then I had other people asking me if I worked for the brand because they're trying to get jobs for them because they've just heard how good of a company it is even to work for.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, I can put you into contact. I was like,
take my card.
Yeah. I was like, just shoot me an email.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, I don't work for them, but I can get you to the person to talk to because they were like, I've always wanted to work for them.
Yeah. But here we are. Thank you, Lalo. Thank you, New Orleans, and thank you, Tales of the Cocktail. We've had the best time. And the Ritz-Carlton for the podcast room,
Honestly.
What was one of your favorite parts of the week?
So last year we stayed like at the conference most of the time. So we were like at the Ritz kind of doing the tasting rooms and
talking to people. And
this year we like took our parents to just all the parties. So there's 300 like activations around New Orleans. And I think my favorite part has just been seeing like all the historic houses and like venues and hotels. Like, I'm kind of in love with New Orleans.
I don't know if we talked about this last year, but I feel like I've lived in New Orleans before.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And when I walk down the streets, I'm just kind of like, it feels like nostalgic. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And I guess
New York felt like that to me.
I didn't feel that way in New York
when
at all.
I touched down in New York, it felt like part of my like soul went into place.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I never fit in St. Louis because I was always meant to fit in New York. And I still feel that way. I don't know like when or if I'll ever move back, but like it felt like home.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also on the podcast, I was going to tell a story, but I'm glad you interrupted me because I wasn't going to rant about that.
Well, yeah,
I wasn't, but it was just like
I'm like, we have 30 minutes.
No, you're right. Good. No, guys, at the Lalo party last night, there was a tarot reader and she was so good.
You said you think it was the best one you've ever met.
I think she is the most skilled tarot reader I've ever witnessed. and she did it differently. She pulled out 9 cards all at the same time, and it was really strange. She didn't like really read it in order, but I'm talking like the specifics and nitty gritty of every aspect of my life she got into. And she definitely had like, I mean, she was absolutely a witch. I mean, she had the look, the vibe, the eyes. Her eyes were kind of like sapphire-ish and glossy almost. It was crazy. But anyway, yeah, and it was just, I'm talking about my past relationship, talking about like what's going on with my career, some like social things I've been experiencing, like that I've talked about, my little mental health moment a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And she just started talking and just saying it and going into it. And I was like, wow.
You were there for a while.
It was a 45-minute reading.
People were like waiting in line and they were like, your brother and her like really getting really deep over there.
No, and she was even like, wow, this is fascinating. This is like I'm so intrigued by this. And like, I felt, yeah, it was crazy. But I love New Orleans, like witchy side. I think it's so fascinating. And
I don't know if we've met a vampire since we've been here.
I don't think so.
I was wanting to meet one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know I dated one, but I
don't know.
I've been wanting.
Well,
I don't know if I should put that out there or
yeah,
not. Maybe
vampires
I should stay
aren't
away.
like good. I mean, right?
Met one?
I don't know.
Well, I guess the one I did was bad.
Yeah, they're like inherently bad, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, thank you and enjoy the show.
We love you guys. And we'll, it was my job to like post all of our reels the last 2 days.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, we love you guys so much. I'm gonna go take another shot and go find my parents.
Yeah. Bye.
Cheers.
It's just great to see like the evolution of the of the industry and like how like people really build brands. Because that's the deal in brands. Like people are like the bartenders and the industry people, and that's what like my father taught me when he was like kind of like expanding the Don Julio brand. Mm-hmm. He told me like the most important marketing campaign that you can do is the word of mouth, and if you can get or if the industry can get behind your brand. And you as a human being, like they're gonna be advocates for life, you know.
Well, I guess we'll introduce you.
Yeah, I'll do a better intro and everything.
We are here with Lalo González.
Hey,
thank you guys.
Yeah, we have been friends for years, and we just had Nick Touch on our podcast. It's not out yet, and of course, we talked about Lalo.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody's gonna get to know, but it's so funny. Everybody knows about Lalo through us. Like we always joke that we work for Lalo.
Yeah, I know.
People are like, wait, do you work with the brand? And we're like, no, we just love them. And it's so funny.
We will like bully bars into carrying you, or not bully them, but we'll just be like, oh, you guys don't have Lalo? Oh, you don't?
We're like that. So you
that's
don't know what it
all
is? Yeah. And we'll like tell the whole story. And it's just, but it goes with what you're saying, like people becoming advocates, because it's like, yeah, we're not sponsored or anything. We just met you guys, and honestly, everyone that works for you loves working for you and loves the company. And then when we heard the whole story, and you're always at all the parties, you're so warm and like talking to everybody.
Thank you.
Like we honestly have like felt like we've become part of the family.
You guys are.
Yeah.
You guys are. Yeah.
It's crazy. And so it's just become our favorite. But another thing that you were saying that your dad taught you, this is the thing that I quote from you all the time.
Yeah.
The story you told on Mario's podcast, Heroic Hospitality.
Oh, with Mario, yeah.
Yeah, and when you said when you guys would cross the border from Mexico, the business or pleasure, will you tell that? When they would always ask him.
He was always saying for business. I mean, because it's a thing as Mexicans when we cross the border and we're like in front of an agent, even like you're not doing anything wrong. Like you're coming here to spend your money or like for like pleasure or Disney or shopping, whatever, right? But you get nervous, right? Because obviously they're doing their job and they're asking questions just to see like if you're not coming here to stay, and always obviously the easiest like answer is tourism and or pleasure. But my father was always no business. Like don't say that. He was like, no, it's every opportunity that you have to tell your story you have to take that opportunity. And that's probably one of the most important lessons that I've learned from him. And I'll do it all the time. I mean, you guys know how we built this brand in stories and like in being with people and meeting people, and that's one of the keys of success
for sure
of the brand.
And we really take that to heart, because every time it is almost annoying of us. We try to work in our podcast, like almost every conversation that we have. Because, like, you know, there's people that we've met at the mall that still listen to every episode because we just like started chatting with them one day. Yeah. And it's like, oh, like, you know, Jen, she loves us. She works at the Cherry Creek Mall. And like, you know, like,
well, because we met her and then they're like, oh, what are you doing? We're like, oh, we're buying outfits because like we always need new outfits for the podcast. That's actually the hardest thing because we're on camera all the time. And I'm like, we are running out of clothes. And we told our story and I was like, I think before I heard you say that, I just wasn't going to bring it up because I felt annoying.
Yeah.
But then when you said that, it sort of like gave me permission. And then we've truly have had like some of our like longest listeners because we've just met them personally.
Completely. Yeah.
I think that personal connections and just like being you and authentic, like it sets you apart from like the pack. And that's what like Lalo is, you know, it's about being in the market. Trust me, like it's a lot of work. Yeah. Because I get to travel a lot, and sometimes I get to travel a lot with my wife, which is great because like we can be together. But sometimes, like she also gets tired. She's like, "No, I think I'll pass for this one," and it's tough, you know. Especially like just being married, you know, like we've been together for many years, but being married just for 3 years or almost 3 years. So yeah, it's a way we're building this brand that is kind of like the old school way. Yeah. But that I guess people still appreciates that, you know.
Go
ahead.
I was saying you say old school, but traditional perhaps, and I feel like that's with like every element to your company is all about like honoring your ancestry, honoring Mexican culture, honoring like the agriculture and the traditional way to make tequila. And then I guess building the company too is also the traditional old school.
Yeah, exactly. Like we love to just give or put Mexico and our culture and our people where they deserve. Yeah. Mexico is not what you see on the news. Mexico is way more than that. And it's great now that like Mexico City is so popular and everyone they wanna move there or they wanna live there and they wanna visit and eat and experience a Mexico City nightlife and cuisine. Mexico City has been there forever. Yeah, and also I mean, kind of like making kind of like the connection between us and Mexico. Like Tequila Blanco has been there forever. And what we're trying to do is just like just see those things that they have been forever, but on a new way. Okay. And there's tradition, there's authenticity, but David and myself and Jim, we're building this together, and we're trying just to kind of like showcase our Mexican experience on our own way. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I totally get that for sure. David and Jim, how long? So did you guys all start it together?
Yeah, so we started the company initially, just David and myself. Oh.
Is it bad? Guys, I've been sweating this entire...
You were getting some beads of sweat. I was like, he needs a
I feel
Lalo
so
scarf.
embarrassed. Like every party I've been at, I've just been like sweating, and it's like so hard because you're meeting so many cool people, and it's like, hi, I'm the sweaty one with the podcast.
I'm the sweaty one.
Oh my gosh.
I got you.
You're fine.
The Lalo scarf.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
please.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But I was saying, we started the company in Guadalajara, and the main reason why we did it is that David calls me, like it was around 2015, and he calls me and tells me, Lalo, I'm working for Don Julio, the company now, and I want to know more stories about your family. And we started chatting, you know, about tequila, about my family, about my grandfather and what my father did in the industry. And just after like seeing all the trends and where tequila was like back then. I mean, it's 2015. It's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If you say 2015, it's like, oh, I mean, it's like
it was just like
last year.
Yeah.
Right? But it's
tequila wasn't, everybody wasn't drinking it.
Well, I mean, obviously it was very popular, right?
Yeah.
And in Mexico, we've been drinking tequila like forever. But and we were in Mexico, like we were in Guadalajara, just talking about that, and after seeing that, and just looking at the trends and like the lack of Mexican ownership also in tequila brands, that kind of like really encouraged us to start. Let's just do this for us, by us, for our friends and family. And we started as a private batch for friends and family in Guadalajara, just for private events, weddings, dinners, and just showcasing the brand. It's funny, in the most important day of our friends, their wedding, they were taking their chances on showcasing a new tequila, right? Obviously, like booze on a wedding or any event, it's very important.
Very important. Very important.
So they were just taking their chances on showcasing Lalo for the very first time to like people, and there were people that were like, "What is this?" You know, like I don't know the brand, but they were, you know, excited and they loved the juice. And in 2017, we were at the wedding in Guadalajara, huge party, like 700 people wedding, like crazy. Well, Mexican weddings are a thing. Like 700 is a big wedding, but like a small wedding is like Regina and us, that we were like 250,
and that's
like
and that's
270.
small.
That's small. That's small in Mexico.
Crazy.
So we were at this wedding and we're serving Lalo there, and I met Jim. So Jim and David, they were dating at that time, and I met Jim without knowing like all his background and expertise around like consumer packaged goods in Austin. So we started just chatting, and I told him just a story, right, like of my grandfather, how he started like at the tequila distillery when he was 7. So I started like with this story, and he was like just like kind of like the emoji face like of surprise like this, and he was like, wait a second, like is it like normal that the grandma of the bride and the girls are drinking like straight from the bottle at the wedding? And I'm like, well, it's pretty normal for a Mexican wedding, you know. We love to party, but the tequila is good. You can do whatever you want. You can drink it out of the bottle, you can mix it, you can sip on it. But we're just having fun, and after telling him the story and the background and kind of like the idea behind Lalo, he was like, guys, you guys have a great story to tell. You guys have a great product. If you guys need any help in the US, I'll be glad to help you. So we decided to invite Jim then as part of the founders team. And we made some tweaks on the packaging, but something that happened that, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? Like we were at this wedding, and a month later from that wedding, and I met Jim there, and a month later from that wedding, my father passed away. So thank you. So, I mean, I always tell this to Jim, like saying like, for some reason, since he passed, everything started to work out like really, really, really nice in such a way that it's just weird. I mean, I'm not saying that it's just luck or kind of like him helping us from heaven, you know, but I do think that, you know, there's something there, you know.
We always say, like, my great grandmother, who, when she passed, it was very much like she has looked over our family. There's been so many different times, like just different ones of us. It's like a near death experience or this and that, but like something happened, like weirdly, or like when my parents got their house, like little signs from her. It's like she has absolutely looked over our
there,
family.
right? So my father is there, and obviously, like since Lalo was not called Lalo at the beginning, had another name. It was called Casa Puyol.
Okay.
Bad name. But like we were just starting, and
what does it mean?
Puyol means hill.
Oh, okay.
In Catalan, which doesn't make any sense. Like, don't ask me why, but anyway. And after my father passed, Jim was like, hey, let's change this name, because this name is not going to work in the market in the US. And I suggest that is Lalo, that we put Lalo.
Is that your father's name as well?
Yes, but when Jim came up with the idea of Lalo, I was like, I don't want my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're three. Like I don't want people to think that it's just me. And then also like it's a big responsibility. Like I mean, being my name, I represent not only like the brand, but the people that is with us, like our family, like people that like works for us. So it's a big responsibility, and I'm a human being, so I can make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, Jim was like, "No, you're not getting it. like it's not because of you; it's because of your dad." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that works.
Yeah.
So we decided to call it Lalo after him.
Okay.
Because he did the same to his father. So he launched Don Julio in 1987.
Okay. Yeah.
In honor to his father, to celebrate 45 years of his father as tequila producer.
Yeah.
So I think there's kind of like romanticism and just mysticism in the story that I say always this, like you either have the story or you don't have it. You can't like make up. I mean, you can, but there's just bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of these celebrity tequilas, they don't really have like the heart behind it.
They're just lacking all like respect
they just
for
put
tradition
they put their name on something, and this is like the real deal.
Talking about celebrity tequilas, I try to keep it very positive. The reality, I mean, people bash, a lot of the celebrity tequilas, and I get it. I mean, I get why. I do like respect what they do, and I do appreciate that they bring a lot of consumers to the category, like to drink tequila from vodka, from whiskey, from like whatever, right? They're now in the tequila category. People ask me all the time, like, do you think in this such a crowded industry, you think that there's room for more brands? And obviously, kind of like the obvious answer will be like, no, it's so crowded. Yeah. But there's room for tequilas that have authenticity, that have tradition, that have a story to tell. And I think that respecting the people that is involved in the process and the land and the plant, it's important, and it's important people to know that. Yeah. So that's what I think about celebrity.
No, that's a really positive way. I mean, I like that. I've never really thought about it like that, because we always love to kind of like bash alcohol brands, not like fully online.
No, but it's, I get it. I mean, I do get why,
Can you talk to us about like honoring the agave and what you guys do differently and how that also, because we just learned that's also why it tastes so much better.
Yes, I mean, we from the get-go, since the inception of the brand, I always wanted to kind of like honor the agave, but not only say it. I mean, because you can say, I mean, you can say, I'm honoring the agave. What are you doing to honor the agave? So we took the decision. That's a very hard decision, like business-wise, of focusing on just one single expression, which is the tequila blanco. Yeah. So in tequilas, not to be too technical, but tequilas are two types of tequilas. Tequilas that are not 100% agave, that are mixtos. Or tequilas that are more for like batch cocktails, or they're cheaper. Okay. So the sugars, the fermentable sugars on those tequilas are at least 51%. They come from agave, and then the rest you can use any other fermentable sugar, and that's tequila. The other type of tequila is called tequila 100% de agave, or 100% agave tequila, which is Lalo's case, which is kind of like the premium category of tequila. In both categories, there's 5 different classes of tequila. Tequilas blancos, tequila joven, tequila reposado, tequila añejo, and tequila extrañejo. Okay. And the blanco still can, technically, you can put a blanco on a barrel and still be a blanco, less than 45 days, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Reposado is just rested in oak barrels, and then añejo, 1 year to less than 3 years, and then extrañejo 3 and more years in a barrel. The reality is that like it's just 2 years to become an extra or an añejo, or 3 years to become an extra añejo. So it's 3 years is not a lot on a barrel. So we do believe that the aging process of a tequila doesn't happen on a barrel; it happens on the agave fields. So with that being said, like we took the decision of only making tequila blanco because we believe that it's not fair for this beautiful plant that stays there waiting to be harvested for like 5-6 years.
Right.
And you take it out of, you hand harvest the plant because there's no machine that can do that.
Yeah.
So it's hand harvested by quimadores. They harvest like 120 between 120 and 150 plants a shift. Each quimador. So imagine that. I mean, it's a hard work.
Wow.
And then like labor intensive. Then they take it out of the agave fields. They bring it to the distillery. We just start the process. So it's not fair for this plant and these people that then you mask the flavor with barrels or with additives or flavors.
I see.
That's the whole idea of Lalo. And since we started our distributor partner, they were like, no, this is not going to work. Like you will need a shelf space so that you have more chances with consumers to see more of your bottle on a shelf. It's a shelf. It's kind of like it's exposure. So if you only have one, then you have less chances of picking the consumer's attention.
I see.
So that's why like many tequilas or vodkas or spirit companies, they launch multiple SKUs
for more shelf. Wow,
more shelf space.
I never would have thought about that either. That's so simple and makes so much sense.
Yeah, and also on a back bar.
Yeah,
if you're on a bar and you're just kind of like scanning the bar and you see more bottles of
you see like three of the Clase Azul or
exactly. So that, I mean, we were like, well, if that's the case, then we're gonna make it in such a way that at the liquor stores they have multiple facings of the same bottle because they can't keep it on the shelf. And that happened in Texas. And then it started to roll out in California. And it was a hard decision because we do know that we launch a reposado. We will sell a lot of reposado, tequila, blanco, Lalo, sorry. But it's just a decision that we made that it's working so far, And that's how we're different. To your question, that's a long answer to your question.
No, it's perfect.
Okay, because thank you for explaining that because it's not that you can't do it. It's that you're just choosing to.
Oh, yeah. We're choosing just to not do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I guess I thought it was like you guys, when I first heard that, maybe that you guys are just smaller. So that's why you weren't doing it. But I see that makes sense.
Well, we went to the Lalo party late last night. We did. They throw the best parties. This one, first we went to, you guys had 2 parties at Tails.
Yes. Yeah, we threw 2 parties.
We went to the one 2 days ago at Val's.
Also,
great
place.
Tacos. My whole family, Mexican food is our favorite food in our family. It's surprising because we're Italian.
It's the best, yeah.
But it's our favorite food. And so we crushed.
I had like 6 tacos. I was just like, I hadn't eaten and I was just like, what? I know. I was just like keep them coming, I love that.
But then they had like kind of like a late night. It almost felt more of like an industry party.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like chill, but it's what you wanted at the end of the night. It was like leather seats. It was in the old Absinthe house, and it was just like friends. Like it really was just
such a staple, like that place.
I've walked past the outside. I just thought it was kind of a bar, but then I'd never seen the back room in there. That was much
Me
more
neither.
Really nice.
Yeah, it was great.
And you had a tarot reader there.
Sorry?
The tarot reader. She was reading the cards.
I'm going to interrupt you to take a shot real quick because I'm a little dusty. But that's also just one of our favorite things about Lalo is that it's not like snobby. Like you can sip it, you can shoot it. It's like amazing in drinks, but it's also like you guys aren't like, oh, don't take a shot of it. You guys are like, take a shot of it.
You do whatever you want to do.
Oh no, yeah, I'll take one. Absolutely. I was just
out of the bottle.
We're doing it. This is Saucy Sibz podcast.
Saucy. All right.
I needed a little after the amount of that you're going for it.
just a tiny bit, right?
Man, that is so good.
No, because like that's another thing is
Still
that a lot.
good.
Still good.
Yeah, just some quality control over here.
It's so easy to drink, and
I know.
that's by design. When we were like kind of like getting to the flavor profile,
Yeah.
I was like, I want Lalo to be first of all a consumable, not a collectible tequila. So
Yeah.
I want it to be very sessionable. Obviously, I want to taste like tequila. So
Yeah.
there's not one flavor that overpowers the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's very easy to drink. It's very sessionable. And
Sessionable.
Sessionable.
I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, Jim came with that
Yeah.
term. And yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
We got to get Lalo on
the
plane.
plane. I know. Yeah.
I'm flying back home for a few days.
To Austin.
Yes, to Austin.
When we come to Austin, we're going to hit you up.
Please.
Yeah, we'll hang
we're
out.
gonna
Yeah,
get home.
yeah. Let
If you're
let
in
us
town, 'cause
know.
you're all over the
Yeah.
world at
Absolutely.
all times. I feel.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to build a brand. It's fun to meet people like you guys and then just hang and
Yeah.
tell stories and share your passion. I think
Yeah.
that's what we're doing with Lalo. We're sharing our passion and our country and the way we experience Mexico. You know, so
Beautiful.
Yeah, I
Really
feel like
is,
it's
yeah.
gotten us like closer. Like I've learned a lot through Mexican culture, even just on your guys' Instagram.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is like beautiful and just like really sharing the stories.
Our Instagram is not only about the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about it's way more than that. I mean, we want people to see like Mexican architecture, Mexican fashion, destinations in Mexico. I think that we're kind of like an ambassador, a Mexico ambassador
Yeah.
to the world,
Yeah.
and Jalisco ambassador to the world as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we carry our Jalisco, the colors of the flag of Jalisco are on the label on the neck. So
Okay.
yeah, there's some like it's simple the bottle, but
Yeah.
it has
It
a
is,
lot
but
of
it's
meanings.
iconic.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's because now though, when I do see it, there's just one like on the back bar, but I'm like, you can pick it out.
It does
right
stand
away.
yeah,
out.
it's
It
easy.
does stand out, yeah.
And by the way, this is the 375, so we have larger size
Yeah.
in the market. So
Well, cool. Is that it?
Well,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah.
thank you guys.
absolutely.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
opportunity. Again,
Yeah.
it's opportunities
Yeah.
for us to tell stories and to
Perfect.
tell who we are and why and how we do things. And
Yeah.
the why is very important.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like we learned even more because the last time when we talked to you, it was, and I feel like so many people want to know just so much about the Don Julio story, which is amazing and like
Yeah.
interesting, but like you have your own legacy and your own story.
Yeah,
to
we're building
tell,
our own
so,
story.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Successful tales.
Tales of the
Yeah.
cocktail.
Yes.
Thank
We've
you.
been wanting to have Lalo on for
know.
literally years. And we were like, all right, before you get on the plane, we're going to go here. And so I'm so excited that like everybody got to hear your story. And
Yeah.
we'll
Thank you.
see you soon because
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
follow you guys around the
I
world.
know.
Absolutely.
We kinda
Just
stuck.
Aspen, Denver,
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Truly.
Thank you
Cool.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Woo.